All right, great. So let me read the problem if you guys have trouble seeing it. So it's at a hardware store, 7 chairs and 9 desks cost $1,200, right? So we can just make a note of that. So 7 chairs, my bad, go for this brush. So 7 chairs. So let's call that 7C. And 9 desks. So we can note that by 9D. And what it says is that they cost $1,200. So in essence, I could have just removed this guy, put a plus sign, and know that they cost $1,200. Then it says 13 chairs and 6 desks costs $1,200 as well. And continuously said that using C to represent the cost in dollars, 1 chair, and D to represent the cost in dollars of 1 desk, write down a pair of simultaneous equations to represent the information above. Then it says, hence, determine the cost of a chair. And then second part says the cost of a desk. So that's what we have done here. We wrote the pair of simultaneous equations. And it's just a matter now of just using what we know, we can use elimination to solve this simultaneous equation. So any questions as to how we translate the worded question into something that we can work out mathematically? Anything? Yes, no? All right, so any ideas how to solve this? You guys would have had some chance to do some in the past. Any ideas? Any ideas what we can do? Right? So remember, it's the whole concept of elimination. Which one we want to eliminate? Want to eliminate D or want to eliminate C? What should we do?
So you can make can eliminate the D variables, make them the same and eliminate them.
How would we do that
So
now?
so I would say I will multiply 90 by 2
Mm-hmm. All
and
right.
60 by 3.
All right. So we can, if we multiply this equation by 2 and this equation by 3, let's see what we get. We would get, this would give us, so this would be 14C plus 18D, and that would give us what? 2400. Then this now would be, that looks like 39C. Then we'll have 18D. And then this looks like a 3600. Right, so from here we can draw the line and we can minus, right? So we can minus, say, this equation from that equation. And note, right? So remember, I tell you that whenever I do this, I usually put a little some minus signs up top to remind me that I'm subtracting, right? So what would be the result of this now? So we have 14 minus 39. That gives us minus 25C. Of course, these get eliminated because that was the whole plan. And then we'll have, this is a negative 1200. So all we have to do now is to divide both sides by negative 25. So we'll have C, all right, we can go here and Just write it. And then we have C being equal to 48. So just like that. So we have the cost of a chair is $48. Lovely. So after we find that now, we substitute for C into one of these equations, right? So we can use back one of the simpler equations up top that originally we can probably use the 7C plus 9D. So
Yeah.
we can say so C equal 48 into equation one. So I haven't labeled the equations, but usually I would tell you guys that, like the first one is equation one, second one is equation two. Right. So just remember, just refresh your mind with those older videos, of how I set it up, and you will see. So we have seven. So it was 7C, so
Times
C,
48.
48, and then I think it was 9D equal
Yes.
1200. So this gives us, so this is 9D. I guess we can
Mm-hmm.
multiply this out.
Equals
I get
equals 336.
36, and then we can subtract 336 from both sides.
Yeah.
Um, so this is what? I get 864,
Yes.
and then let's see if we can divide by 9. Great, we can,
So
and it,
divide by
it gives a nice clean
96.
number. The D is,
They get 96.
yeah man, 96. Nice and clean. All right, great. So make sure we found that. So we have the cost of a chair, 48. Cost of a desk, 96. Lovely. So let us see if we can go on to the next wordy question. Let me see if I can even expand the screen a bit. Um, um, all right. All right. So our next question, if you look on the worded problem, let us see real quick. Hopefully we can make it out. It says kind of hard to make out. Mary paid 2,100 for four parrots and three dogs. So, so I guess we can denote dog by D and parrot by P. So we say, okay, four parrots, so that's 4P, and three dogs, that's 3D, and she paid 2,100, right? Or 2,100.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. And then it goes on to say she bought one more dog, right? So one more dog, that means she would buy four dog if you buy one more dog, and then it says, and two fewer parrots. Two fewer
So
parrots
she would
mean,
have bought two parrots.
hmm?
So if she bought two fewer parrots, that means she should have bought two parrots this time.
Yeah, excellent. And then now it says she would have paid 200 more. Right? So just
So
add
it would
200
be
to them.
2,300.
300, right? All right. So let us read the question again to just make sure that we all on the same page. So Mary paid $2,100 for four parrots and three dogs. All right. Well, for four parrots or three dogs, and she paid 2,100. If, so that's an if out here. We can't see it so good. If she had bought one more dog and two fewer parrots, she would have paid 200 more. And then it goes on to say calculate the cost of a dog and a parrot. So this is what we have set up, right? We have this. If we want to label the equations, no, we can. All right. So what we think? How would we eliminate whatever now we choose to eliminate? What?
Eliminate the you will eliminate the parrots.
All right. So the
Then
parrot.
multiply the first equation by one.
Mhm.
Multiply the first equation by one and the second one by two.
All right. So that can work, right? So we can rewrite equation two, right, by multiplying it by two, really, or negative two, whichever way you guys prefer. If you want to add or subtract, so we can say, all right, multiply multiplying e cube by 2, we have, so this is equation one first, with equation one. And I can even mention that you leave equation one the same. So multiply eq2 by 2 and eq1 can still remain the same. And then you can say we have whatever. So this, we rewrite this, and then 2p becomes 4p now, and this becomes 8d, this becomes 4,600. So all we do now is to subtract, right? And I just remind myself, and I put so I look some minus signs in between. So this becomes a negative
Negative 5d
5d, and this becomes what? That
be
becomes
negative 2,500.
excellent. And so now we divide both sides by negative 5. I will get d is equal to
It is
500.
equal to 500.
Great. So if these 500, so D represent the odds now, these 500, we can find what a parrot is worth. So I guess we can use the equation 2, don't really matter,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, so D equal 500 into E cube 2, we get, so it's 2p, I believe, and
Yeah.
4,
Plus 4d
4d, but D is
500.
equal, this was a 23.
Yes.
All right. So we'll just write this out now. 4 times 5 is
It
100,000.
give 2,000.
And then we'll have subtract both sides by 2,000. And 2p is equal to
300.
300. Divide both sides by 2. Get p equal.
150.
Excellent. So I have more worded questions, and I would advise you guys to check them out, provided that you can see them. Um, and then if anything, you can come and ask me. We can try them in the next class, right? So what I'll do is
Yes, sir.
pause this video because I want to bring up some other thing now. Give me a second. All right. So see my screen and everything. All right. So tell me what's up. So the question we're looking at is this worded simultaneous equation question again. Before I move to the next topic, it says at a school shop, pens are sold at X dollars each and ruler at Y dollars each. Mr. James bought 4 pens and 5 rulers for $24. Mrs. Singh bought 2 of the same pens and 7 of the same rulers for $21. Write two equations in X and Y to represent the information given above. All right, what you think is the answer?
All right, sir. For the pens, I had 4x plus 5y, that is pens plus rulers.
So
For
write that
Mr.
down. So 4x plus
Mhm,
5y, that's
equals $24.
24. Okay.
And then for Mrs. Singh, I had 2x
Mm-hmm.
plus 7y
Mm-hmm.
equals $21.
Okay, lovely. All right.
Okay. Then
So,
I then I changed the pens. I made the pens the same. So I
uh,
multiplied the first equation by 1 and the second one by 2.
all right. So, in essence, we're going to get back. So, 4x plus,
4x plus 5y
and then
plus
let's look how
24.
much. 4x plus
Plus
14.
14y equals 42.
Right.
So I would then when went ahead and subtracted.
Okay.
So I got minus 9y equals minus 18.
And so let's give you minus 18.
18, yes. Then I divided both sides by minus 9, negative 9, and got y equals 2. So that is for the rulers. So one ruler would cost $2.
Yes, of y equals 2. Yes, another simple ones. Can choose equation 2. Well,
Yes.
equation, whichever one.
Anyway,
All right, so let me choose one. So that's EQ one was what again? Huh,
4x
4x plus 5. Okay.
plus 5y plus 24. 5 2 equals 24.
24. Okay.
Mhm. So I had 4x plus 10 equals 24.
So 4x
Plus 10 equals 24. Then I subtracted 10 from both sides. So I got 4x equals 14. So x divide both sides by 4
mm,
and got $3.50. 3.5.
okay.
I say
I
$3.50.
guess is because it's thing we can put so we can think of it as $3.50 then, right?
$3.50. Yes, sir.
All right. Good stuff. So the second part says to solve, which we did, and then it's a calculate the
Mhm.
total cost for one pen and one ruler, right? Which is simple enough. So just basically
Yeah.
one x, which you don't have to put the one, right? It's a calculate the
Okay.
total cost for one pen, one ruler. Um,
Mm.
and this is just,
Would be equal to $5.50.
and the other one is what?
That's $2.
Okay, right? So,
So it'd be equal to $5.50.
all right, lovely. All right, so let us move right along. I think we have that covered. So what you can do is to do some, to the other questions in your spare time. For the most part, we're good. All right, so we have some different questions now I want you to look at. I want to look at some algebraic concepts. Let me reshare the the screen. Give me a second. All right, so we have algebraic manipulation, and basically, this topic is about making a particular variable the subject of the formula. And all that just means is like you have the variable by itself on one side of the equation with the other terms on the other side of the equation. So we can quickly read through. It says sometimes a letter may appear twice in a formula. Just make sure that this is the start of it. Yep, it's the start. So interesting that they don't even mention when um it is. Let me take a second to look through. It's interesting that they didn't even mention when there's only um one, when the variable is just when the variable appear once in the formula, but that's fine because it's just like solving a simple equation when the variable appears once. So the real task is when the variable appears twice, right? So basically, as I say, you're trying to put the variable on one side of the equation and everything else on the other side. So when we solve simple equations, that's what we did. We solved for x. And by solving for x, we had x on one side, and then we had the number,
And
whatever
then
that number is on the other side, right? So x is equal to whatever, coming from some equation with, couple x terms, and you have some numbers and so on and so forth. So with this though, it's saying that you have x appearing in two places. You have x in the numerator here, in the denominator, right? You also have a situation here, which is the example that they kick off with. We have x here on this side, and I have x on this side. And of course, when we're doing simple equations, or solving linear equations, we have situations where we have x on both sides of the equation, and then we group them, and then we solve for x. So there's nothing new here. The only thing is that when you look at this example, you do have like another number being here. Like you have ax instead of like two x or 6x, I have ax. So before, when we had a number, we would put minus 3x to both sides. That is if we choose the left side to solve for x, to have x there. So you see where they put the minus 3x on the left side. And normally what we would do is to say, okay, this is a number. We'll work this out and we'll get like a single term in x. And then we'll continue
okay.
to solve for x. But what I mean here is that we have a variable on the x. So this is ax. So all we can do is to factorize and put the x by putting the x on the outside. And now we have in bracket a minus 3. And then to
Equal.
get x by itself, we just divide both sides by a minus 3. So
Okay.
that's all that's going on here.
And then you're finished.
And you
Okay.
finish. You finish just like that. For the next
Okay.
example, so you have x in the numerator, x in the denominator.
It's in the detail.
So all you need to do is to first rewrite this as, let's put it this way. Get rid of the fraction because
Mm-hmm.
your aim is to eventually group the x terms on one side of the equation. But as it stands now, even though this is on one side, but you know what I mean, we want to isolate the x by itself. So what you have to do is to multiply both sides by wx so that you can have a situation where you can try and group the x terms. So when you come to multiply both sides by wx, you have to multiply this out, expand the bracket. By expanding the bracket, you get access to this x term here. So you have minus px equal 2x. And what you try to do,
Okay.
by adding px to both sides, you get to group the 2x and the px together. And then you factor out the x, and then you have x 2 plus p, and then you divide both sides by 2 plus p to get x on one side of the equation, right? And that's basically how we go about it. Here's another example. This time the square root. We square both sides to get rid of the square root. And just as before, we try and get rid of this fraction so we can get to group the x terms together. Multiply both sides by x, right? And now we have, see here, multiply both sides by x, we have p square x. And then there is x plus 4 on this side. Then we try and group them. So what you see here is that subtracting x from both sides so that x appear on the left side, and then you factor out the x, put it outside by itself, and then you have p squared minus 1 x equal 4 divide both sides by p squared minus 1. And that's it in essence, right? That's really it.
Okay.
So we can do a couple, and then we're good to go. We can move on, right? I give you a couple to try out, move on. So let me reshare my main screen. One second. All right. So we can try this one. So remember the directive is make x the subject of the formula, and that's how you see it set up in question. That's a make x, make y, make l, whatever variable they choose to make to tell you to make the subject of the formula. So
Okay.
the first question is, I don't know what narrating. Okay, so 2x plus a equal x minus b. And they're saying make x the subject of the formula. So just to remind you, so all we need to do, so I want to just work two questions and then give you a chance to work. I may work three. So group the x terms.
Okay, now 2x minus x equals
So we can say
minus b
uh,
minus a.
this one kind of simple because we can just say equal minus b minus. So not much there, right? Then put the directive up top. So it's going to make x the subject. So not much going on there. So let's find one that's more interesting now. To try. So this one is sort of similar. So ax minus b equals cx minus d. So again, we group the x terms. We have minus d, then this time plus b, plus b. Right, that b not the prettiest, but fine. We have x, can factorize out the x.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A
but
minus
mhm.
c
Yeah, and I'm going to change the order of this to make it look a little better. I'm going to put b minus. Right?
minus b. Okay.
So now I have x is equal to b minus
B minus
c
b.
over a minus c. Mhm. So I have that. Then I'm going to try one more. I'm going to try two x plus 1 equals a minus x. So I have now 2x plus 2 equal a minus x, right? And if I move the x terms, so this one not too bad again. And then let's do a minus 2. So I have 3x, a minus 2, divide both sides by 3. So we have x equal to that. the minus p over. Lovely. All right. So I'm gonna right now a couple that for you to try. So I want you to try x minus 4 and try all right. So you can try those and give you about 20 minutes or so. Probably not so much. Just tell me when you finish. I'll check in again. So what I'll do is just pause
Okay,
it
sir.
for now. So, yeah. So I pause for now and we
So you
resume.
have stopped sharing screen.
Yeah, man. So give me a second. All right. So this is just the last two. I remember
Yes,
blaze
sir.
through. I'm gonna blaze through
I
the.
tried something. I'm not sure if I'm right, but
Mhm. All right.
tried something.
So I'm gonna blaze through the first three. Um.
Okay.
So you would have. I'm write it back at the top. So x a minus 4 equal bx minus 5.
Minus 5.
So we'll group the x's.
Yes, sir.
Carry over
Ax
the number to
minus
the other
bx.
side. So we have 4.
And then minus 5 plus 4. Or 4 plus 5. Minus 5.
That would have given minus 1. Right?
Yes, sir.
And then here now, we see that x is common, so we can factorize. And inside the bracket, we have a minus b. And then we can divide
Yes.
both sides now by a minus
Hmm.
b.
Minus 1. Yes, sir. I got that one.
Great. Next up, we have b minus 2 x equals c. So group, we can add 5x to both sides and put
Hmm.
the b over the other side. So I have 5x minus 2x, and then we have c minus b. So this work out to be 3x c minus b. Divide both sides by 3. We have x equals c minus b over 3.
Over 3.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So we can do number 3 now, which I can put it here. So number 3 is e bracket q. All right. So
Yeah.
of course we need to get access to the x variables. So
Uh,
let's multiply, all right?
Corresponding was px plus p qx minus q.
And then we'll group them. So I can put this is
Yeah.
I can make them go the other way around, but leave them like that for now. Um, so x common here, so I can
Mm-hmm.
put my x on the outside
P minus, and then p minus q.
and divide both sides by
Pq.
doing that space too small. And so I have x is equal to, so divide both sides by p minus q. We have
X is equal. minus 2.
Yeah, I think that's the best
Yes,
we
sir,
can.
got that one.
All right. So the next one now is 4. The one that you say is a part of the problematic.
Mm-hmm. So is it okay to cross multiply there? Because that's what I did.
Yeah, man, of course. Because I don't
Oh,
want
well,
it.
that means I'm on the right track then.
Yeah, I don't want any fractions, so you have to.
I cross multiplied.
Okay. So you would have, so multiply this side, both sides by 3, right? That would get rid of this here. And both sides by 2 would get rid of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can multiply both sides by 6, right? So let me just do that instead. So both sides by 6, right? So over here now you'd get 3 x minus a. This side you get 2x plus b. So this is 3x minus 3a, 2x plus 2b.
Mm-hmm.
Group the x's, we get 3x minus 2x, and then we have 2b plus
Plus 3
3a.
a.
Okay, so some space. So I have x
X
is equal to just
equals
2b,
2b plus
3a.
3b over 3 minus 2.
Right, so this is what I have. Wait, this is
Over,
3a.
sure, you still have the 3 minus 2 on the other side.
Oh my bad, this is supposed to be a 3a. So this is supposed to be, wait, what am I doing?
Well, sir, you sure you know there's something wrong there, so?
Yeah.
Sir,
Hold on a second. Wait, wait,
sir,
wait.
remember, you carry over the 2x, you know.
Yeah, hold on a second. I see. Let me just
So
erase.
you repeat.
Let me erase it. Let me erase them. Yeah, erase them. Let me erase them. Do 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 do. Okay. So right here we
Must
have
have 3x minus 2a
3x minus
minus 2x.
2x,
2x.
which I had before. So I was on the right track. And then I think this is supposed to be 2b plus 3a.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then x. Oh, so I had the x
X
right.
is
And then
equal to
2b plus 3a. Okay.
plus 3a over 3 minus 2
Over. We're not understanding what you're saying.
over 1.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They say they don't need to put anyone. They just put x equal 2b plus 3a. Yeah, good enough.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so let's move right along again. See if we have more space. Um, so I have x over a plus x plus b over 4. Try to find some space for that. All right, probably can use down here. So I have, so I have x over a equal x plus b all over 4. All right, so can multiply both sides by 4a, right?
yes,
So
sir.
4a, 4a, so both sides. So this will just give you 4x, and this just give you a, and then in bracket x plus b.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then now we can just multiply out the ax, so the right hand side, so ab, and then we group, we get probably carry that higher. That is fine. This suppose can work. This is 4x
Mm-hmm.
ax equal ab. So I have x
Mm-hmm.
4 minus a
Yep.
plus
AB.
ab. Divide both sides by 4 minus a. So I have
Then
x
of
is
x
equal to
equals
ab
yeah
over 4
over
minus
4a
a.
minus 2.
All
Well,
right,
I got them, sir.
you got them. Great. Good stuff. right? So we actually have some more questions, that we never got around to. So let me share them with you. Let me work two examples of these other types of questions. Um, so for example, let me see if I can find one. Well, you're kind of used to them. Um, but let me do one that you probably will never try before. So still making x the subject of the formula. So one that goes like p equal the square root of x over x plus 1. Square root, look a little way, but it is what it is. So here we take the square of both sides. So square both sides. And now I have p square. Square root get removed, so I have x over x plus 1. And then, we do our manipulation, multiply both sides by x plus 1. And then we'll multiply out. So that means now we get xp square plus p square equal x. We group the x together. So x minus xp squared. And then we factorize. This is p squared. And then we divide both sides by 1 minus p squared. One second. So I have 1 minus p squared, 1 minus p squared. So in essence, we have x is equal to p squared over 1 minus p squared. And that's that. So that's how you do the ones with the square root. So I'm going to give you some more to do now that involves some square root and see how you deal with them. So let me share the screen. All right, so tell me when you see the questions.
Yes, sir, I'm seeing them.
All right, great. So I want you to do, let me see, what would be good? I guess I can do from D to L.
Okay, sir.
So D to L.
All
Yeah.
right.
Mhm. All right, so let me pause here. So I give you probably 10, 15 minutes. All right, so some more interesting questions now. So can start at D. So D is Q squared
Mm-hmm.
over, right, so simple stuff, multiply both sides by x minus y. So nothing new right here. Nothing new. Nothing new. I guess I can put y. Then we group the x terms, and I can carry this y and put this.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have x. And what I will do here, you do have to, right? I'll
Okay.
actually factorize here as well. You don't have to. Because the question
Okay.
they make x the subject of the formula. So this here is just me being extra.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Y. over. So q square minus 1. Right, that's that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Some would say I can go further than that, which probably can because this and this are different are two squares. So like I could get a x plus q x, not x, 1 plus q, 1 minus q. And here I
Mm-hmm.
could get q plus 1, q minus 1. And I'm sure something can cancel the 1 plus q up top and the q plus
Mm-hmm.
1. Basically the same thing, they could cancel, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to leave it right here. Cool.
Okay, sir.
All right. Next up is which one? Oh, this one, x. So I'm gonna part this off.
Minus.
So, so x minus 2 over x plus 3. That's the next one. And then now we have, let's multiply it again. And then we expand. And then we group. And then we factor. Rise. Wait, my bad, it's supposed to be a 1.
Yeah.
Add that up. Supposed to be 1 minus a. And then we have x. All right. You add both sides by 1 minus a. All right. So far,
Yes, sir.
I think you would
Took so far.
understand. Yeah, these would be good for you. Shouldn't pose much of a problem. And then this one now. So for the others that when persons are rewatching the videos and stuff, they can get some extra practice with these questions. Um, so just going through them real quick. You
Yes, sir.
guys, whoever watching can always pause the video and attempt the question and then see the solution. All right. So boom, boom. And then before grouping, um, so B, too close. Let me B minus 4C and X. Oh, this is just negative 3X. All right, I'm not like that too far. Let me fix that up. So this is negative 3x b minus 4c, and then we divide both sides by minus 3x. Uh, and then what I can do is to multiply the numerator and denominator by minus 1, and that will cause it to look something like this: 4c minus b over 3. Right? So of course you could just have this as x equal minus x equal b minus 4c over minus 3. And you can call it a day, but if you want pretty it up, you can actually just multiply
4C
the,
minus B.
the numerator and the denominator by minus 1. And yeah. All right. So now to the more interesting ones. So we did G already, the one
Sir.
that does that one. So we did that already. So we can move on to H. H looks something like, right? So it looks something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now we have, so square both sides,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have, we're going to multiply both sides by x. So I don't really need to put that bracket. So I'm going to just put um, x double squared. And then we factor rise and we get the x. And then we'll divide both sides by w squared minus 1 and we get um, that's that. You got that one?
Yes, sir. Got that one.
All right. So good. So let's move right along because I guess the trouble starts at J. So we'll just breeze through
Yes,
these.
sir.
Um,
Right there.
so this one, kind of on that square root sign here, up in the ear. All right, let me fix that. So, all right, look better. So I have this. So this is shouldn't be a problem as well. So I'm just breezing through. So this is square, square this side too. The square root is removed. Make sure look working. Square, square. And then we just do as we did before, multiply both sides by this times x plus 1. And we go through again. Group the x's over the other w. Um, extra dash right there, so I'll fix that. All right, now we have x, and then we have, then we can, oh, there's no space at the bottom. So I'm try and squeeze it under. All right, so let us move on to the more interesting question, right? So let me find some space. All right, so we have p equal x squared plus 2 over x squared. So as before, we're going to group the x's, right? Nothing new
Yes,
here.
sir.
So I have x squared p squared 2, so nothing new there. Nothing
Okay.
new. And then we factorize. Just be like my the equation and go up into the here, the diagonal, and then we have x squared equal to. All right, but we want x, not x squared,
It's here.
right? So in order to get rid of the square, we have to take the square root, and that's all. So from
X.
here, take the square root, and we get x, so character we get x is equal to the square root of all of this.
Okay.
Yeah, but what I would do is to add a plus or minus,
Minus.
right, to this,
Oh.
right? Why? Because think about it. If you were to find what x is and plug it back in this, you could have put in the negative value of whatever this is or the positive value of it. You would have still get
Okay.
the same
There are two
thing.
possible answers.
Yeah. So unless you have some questions though that talk about, like they would say, the length of something is x, and they could possibly ask it to make x the subject of the formula of something, but you know that when it comes to length, it can only have a positive length, right? So
Yeah.
in a case like that, where they explicitly tell you what is going on, you put the positive I guess quantity or positive representation like we have here, except we take out the negative, right? But if they don't tell you anything and they say fine, make x a subject of the formula, then of course if you end up in a situation like this, I put plus or minus at the front,
Okay.
right? Otherwise they don't have to put anything and it would mean the positive square root, right? All right,
Okay.
so that's really it. So the other questions follow suit. I can probably do one more out of the two, and that
Yes,
would really
sir.
be it. Um, so if I go and say, all right, P equal, let me do the one with the Y, whichever one I'll do the last one. So the last one is actually the G. which is no problem. So G,
is equal to x squared minus y.
all right, so now we just say, okay, G, and then we'll have, just multiply it out, G, y. I don't know why I'm writing the thing diagonal, but just bear with me. So now we group them, Gy, and then this becomes x squared, G minus 1, space, and then this is, similarly, I could have factorized this and put y.
Okay.
I could have even put a minus y, and this would be 1 plus g. And then I carry this up and carry it up top. So this is x squared minus y. So 1 plus g over g minus 1. Right? And of course, they can multiply the numerator and the denominator by minus 1. Let's say what would happen. I would get y 1 plus g, same way. And then I will get a minus g plus 1, which I can put as um, minus g plus 1. I can put like this. I can change it around, right? So it look a little better. So all of this
Okay.
gymnastics, you don't have to do. If you can actually stop, you can actually think about taking the square root from here. Hopefully
Yeah.
and it should be fine. So
Okay.
from here now, we're good. We just take the square root now. So this is x squared, take the square root, take the square root, and we get x is equal to plus or minus the square root of, this thing right here. So, um, all right, great,
Oh. Yes, I'm following.
good. All right, so let us move on to something else, right? So I guess so you would say this topic is more or less clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I'll do is try
Just
and get,
have to work on this part some more.
yeah. So what I'll do is try and get some questions, some more questions, 60 type questions and say it. All right. So let me pause for a second.